thrust and all right. Okay, Houston, roll complete. Roger, roll complete.
Gary's performance is a celebration of the first moon landing, Apollo 11. On July 20th, 1969, completed by Neil Armstrong, along with lunar module pilot Buzz Aldrin Jr., the Eagle landed down to the surface of the moon while command module pilot Michael Collins orbited overhead. They set up experience, planted the U.S. flag, and left a plaque that read, "We came in peace for all mankind," honoring the crew of Apollo 1. This 1942 Army Air Corps PT-17 Stearman that Gary is flying has extra thrust, twice the horsepower that it had during World War II. It was the trainer during the Second World War, and of the 10,000 aircraft built, only around 1,000 are still flying in the United States today. This one powered by the Pratt & Whitney R985 radial engine, producing 450 horsepower. Diving in now from the right, Gary Rower, the 1941 Super Stearman. Up and over the top, as Gary commences this 5G vertical roundhouse loop. The wings pulling 15,000 pounds of force. Well, now he's forward on the stick as he flies off to Airshow left. Gary's passion for manned spaceflight began staying up late watching Gemini and Apollo launches. Mankind's greatest achievement was landing a man on the moon and bringing him safely home. While active duty in the U.S. Air Force, Gary trained with NASA for the Space Shuttle Contingency Program for diversions upon liftoff. He began flying more than 40 years ago from an apple orchard in upstate New York. Gary is a former F-16 fighter pilot with more than 22,000 hours of flight time and everything from Piper Cubs, F-16s, half-billion-pound airliners, and just about everything in between. His true passion lies in flying this open cockpit 1941 Super Stearman biplane. He was the captain of the United States Air Force Academy soaring team, an F-16 instructor pilot, flight examiner, and Top Gun, and is currently an international captain for a major airline. Let's watch now as he dives in back towards Show Center. Airspeeds at over 180 miles an hour as he now pulls back on the stick and flies that airplane up and over. Gary's performance here this afternoon, showcasing to you many of the same flight training maneuvers those new cadets did during the 1940s. This time, Gary Rower, Breckenridge, Colorado, rolled the big Super Stearman biplane upside down, hanging from his shoulder harnesses and his seat belts, in this his inverted pass. He will now dive, climbing for that energy, more altitude. It's all about energy management in this World War II training. The Stearman biplane actually isn't much of a fan of aerobatics. It takes every bit of force for Gary to make this big biplane perform the way that it does. And he does so with a great deal of grace and majesty. Let's watch now as he now sets up for a pull at Show Center. You will be able to see the deflections and the controls, those big ailerons out there on the wings. As Gary rolls the steering on the upline and pulls back for deflection. And this is vertical pirouette. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for Gary Rower in the 1941 Super Stearman. spot in the sky, a graceful performance of this World War II 1940s aircraft. Aerobatic flying is all about dancing these airplanes in all three axes, working the ailerons, the rudders, and that elevator out there, and working the wings to do so. It's great things in a great deal of graceful fashion. Performing now the very graceful barrel roll. Imagine a big barrel laying on its side out there as Gary starts and stops his biplane. The same altitude, same heading, and the same airspeed. 360-degree
Roar Airshows is pleased to be part of the team sharing the message about the Global War on Terror Memorial Foundation. The Global War on Terror Memorial Foundation was created by a former Army Vietnam. It was inspired by our nation's Vietnam War Memorial to create a sacred gathering place for our warriors who, with courage, honor, and conviction, continue to fight the global war on terror. The foundation is solely dedicated to organizing, fundraising, and coordinating efforts to build a memorial on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., one that will honor our fallen warriors, our Gold and Blue Star families, and all those who supported our nation's longest war. You can help build the memorial by visiting at GWOTMF at Facebook.com. There you'll find the latest news on our efforts, as well as ways you can contribute to this noble cause.
And now inbound for his photo pass, cameras at the ready, as Gary now approaches from low and to our left. Gary would like to thank the Wyoming Air National Guard for the invitation to fly for you this weekend and be part of this outstanding celebration. He'd like to thank Tempest Marketing Group, Light Your Fire, Concord Battery, the battery you need, and Unhooked Aviation. It's time to start flying. You can follow Roar Air Shows on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Roar Air Shows. Ladies and gentlemen, demonstrating this magnificent World War II trainer for us today, let's put our hands together for Gary Roar and the Super Steerman.